guess I've been thinking a lot about, interpersonal contracts. Even, and what happens when, because, in contracts, like, the first side to violate the terms loses enforcement, loses the right to enforce it, okay? So in natural law, it's like the contract just plays out. But so I've been trying to think about somehow these contracts are playing out, and whether it's like, am I still enforcing a contract? And I wonder, like, what if Megillah really is like the incarnation of Satan, the way that I am like an incarnation of Jesus? Just in Smith avatar reality, And then is this about actually forcing him? Because it makes sense that I would have to dominate him because of the... like the Stamp Act is where, the British were like, we have to maintain at least one tax to make sure that we can tax you guys, So it's like, that's the concept of like this the holdout theory, right? This one holdout theory, where as long as you can get one thing through, which I think also plays into like tax code and driving code, because I think that it makes sure that everybody is abiding by at least like one code. And imagine the insidiousness of it being like, what's that big refundable tax credit? You know what I'm talking about, the one that like the really poor people get, that goes up a lot when you have kids or whatever. Imagine the insidiousness of like the one statute that is ever like enforced on you is like one that gives you money, and then that keeps you in statutory like jurisdiction. Like, what would be the point of that? Because it would be like, for people that are so poor that they probably maybe couldn't afford a car or they never would really make enough to have, otherwise they would probably never make enough to have like the tax code really enforced on them. But I mean, I guess you have to have wages. But like anybody with wages has the tax code enforced on them, but not voluntarily, right? So getting those tax credit refunds would definitely be a voluntarily way to enforce the statute and to say that you acquiesce to statutory law.